We gotta go to start screen.
Too many vegans have this.
Too many vegans. Alright, and we're live. Here we are. Alright, alright. Well, here we are. Back for 2026. Hope everybody enjoyed the break. We have a bit of news that we're going to go through. And we're going to do a little bit of Fast Action Network just to get us started. But I've got a few good news articles that we can look at. And yeah, I'll probably stream for about an hour, I imagine. Hopefully some people come and watch. But let's go. Let's get started with some Fast Action Network. I have some good... you know what? This is the one that didn't... Oh, okay, it says no sample text provided. Use your own words for authenticity. You know, you don't normally have to... you don't normally actually have to read these. I guess that they're making you do a little bit more work here. Okay, all right, we'll do the work. I have some good general vegan news articles that I'm going to go through. And I have some cool news about stuff that we're going to be doing on the channel also, which I will share. But all right, let's focus. Nearly a decade ago, Stop and Shop promised to go 100% cage-free, but has not followed through on that promise. Stop and Shop is owned by Ahold Delhaize. We know that they're a common target here. And its sibling companies include Food Lion, the giant company. All right, okay, so these are some other ones that we have targeted before, and I guess they're all part of Ahold Delhaize. The Postmost newsletter ad targeting Stop and Shop and featuring our open letter from customers is live. Okay, so this is the link we're to send. Should we have a look at that? Okay, this is interesting. There is an open letter that we're going to link to. Subscribe if you're subscribed to the Washington Post, Postmates. No, I'm not linking this website. Yeah, okay. And they're going to make me write their emails in as well, are they? Damn. No, it does one of them, interestingly. Let's do media at stopandshop.com. How we doing, guys? We have everybody enjoy your Christmas break. It's back to work tomorrow for most of us, myself included. Everyone's trying to avoid that reality for now. Right. Time to go cage free. Man, this is so difficult when they don't give you sample text. There should be more than 1 point on here. Come on. I'm sure you will have seen the Postmost newsletter ad targeting Stop and Shop. I saw this on the Postmost newsletter. How are we doing, guys? If you're not subscribed to the... Yeah, okay, good. Please act on this and go cage free like you promised. All the best, Chris Bryant. Lovely. Well, that was a lot of effort for 1 point, honestly. Of course, the points are not really the end game, but one can't help but care about them. Can anyone point mog me on this platform, by the way? I got 268 points on the Fast Action Network. Anyone got more than that in chat? See, this one has a copy paste. To be fair, this is 0 points. But we still do them. The points aren't really the points are made up currency, but you can't help but care. You can't help it. All right, good. We gave them a peppering. Submit a contact form for the Canadian Automobile Association. Are they going to give me something to copy paste this time? Yes, they are. If you guys haven't used this platform before, this is action.thehumaneleague.org. Putting that in the chat. I'm lonely in the chat. We've got some good news stories that we're going to get to later on. All positive stuff for veganism. I've curated hopium only news for today. And there's also some very cool news about Doxed. There's also some very cool news about the channel in general. So that'll be cool. Bristol, Quebec. I have to say I'm in Canada for this, I guess. Boom. 3 points. 271. I don't think anyone's touching my score here. I'm sure I'm not the highest, but out of you slackers. Maybe. This is Facebook again, so it's another 0 points. Interesting. Facebook policy prohibits them from awarding points for posts on Facebook. All right, we'll do one more. And then we'll read some news, hey? ASIS International. Oh, whoops. Tagging my mother. I hate when the thing doesn't work like this. Resin Hotels, that's what I want, surely. Okay. Nice. All right. How we doing, guys? Thanks for joining. We got good news only. It's going to be pure hopium. The Vegetarian Society reports significant rise in brands adopting plant-based certification. We're going back a little over a month for this one. The UK's... Am I really getting adverts for eggs on plant-based news? I guess it's just through Google Ads or whatever, huh? Still, you would have thought that they'd have some better targeting. Oh, another one. I regret disabling my ad block now. I'm going to put it back on. That seemed... I guess that was optional. All right. Let's try that again. The UK's Vegetarian Society has reported seeing a significant rise in the number of brands adopting its plant-based certification label over the last year. The Vegetarian Society launched its plant-based certification mark in late 2024, and Lidl became the first major retailer to use the trademark in January of 2025. To bear the label, products must have plant-based qualities and no animal ingredients. Plant-based qualities, that's interesting phrasing. Also, this is kind of saying, I mean, if it launched in 2024, it's in late 2024. Doing more than one in the first year is going to give you that effect. But okay, it's Hopium stream. All right, let's not. The Vegetarian Society told Plant-Based News that the plant-based certification mark has seen exponential growth across a diverse range of products from various brands since its introduction a year ago. Okay, well, all right, that's a plus. If it's not linear growth and there's been kind of growing month-on-month adoption, then I guess that's something to shout about. Since the launch of our plant-based certification in November 2024, we've seen a significant rise in brands adopting the certification, either as a standalone credential or to complement our vegan and vegetarian certifications. Said Nina Anderson, the head of corporate sales of the Vegetarian Society. Our plant-based certification mark enables products to carry a certification that may be better aligned with their brand identity. Okay, interesting. So it sounds like this might be the plant-based kind of playing better with consumers than vegan thing. Right? There's been a lot of studies, including, I want to say that I've done some of these studies. Yeah, I think I have done some of these studies. I've done at least one, but I don't know if it's published anywhere. Where basically they show that, the plant-based label is selected by a higher proportion of people than the vegan label when they're sort of compared to or in a choice experiment with meat products. So interesting. Maybe this is then an option for them to identify that they have vegan ingredients, but not have a sort of vegan label on there, because that could be off-putting to some consumers. I think that's what's going on here. I don't think that this is saying... I think the products are vegan, right? The Vegetarian Society now offers 3 trademarks, one for vegetarian products, one for vegan products, and the newest one for plant-based products. While items bearing the plant-based certification mark have to be vegan-friendly too. Yeah, okay, so they are going to be vegan. The recipe must also specifically include plants or plant derivatives as the main ingredients. Okay, interesting. As opposed to what? Together are plant or plant derivatives. That seems like it's going to cover a lot of stuff. Together, our trinity of certifications allows customers to make informed purchasing decisions at a glance. With the recent uptake of the plant-based mark accounting for around 50% of recent certification completions. Oh, interesting. Consumers will soon begin to notice our mark on a growing range of products. Okay, so the products are vegan, and then there's additional condition that they specifically include plants or plant derivatives as the main ingredients. So is this like a non-ultra processed thing where this would qualify for tofu but not for plant-based meat, that sort of thing? I mean, plant-based meat is going to contain plant derivatives as the main ingredients. That's kind of vaguely defined, but okay. And they're saying that this is about 50% of their recent certifications. They've got 3 different certifications that they give, and this is making up half of the awards now. So that's pretty interesting. There's this point about the branding, where maybe this logo on a packet plays a lot better for consumers than the vegan logo, whatever that looks like. But it sounds like this is more to do with the specific ingredients in an exclusive sense. The Vegetarian Society is one of the oldest organisations of its kind in the world. In addition to its Vegetarian Society approved trademarks, the 178-year-old campaigning charity also organises the UK's National Vegetarian Week, runs a cookery school, and holds a Veggie Lotto fundraising lottery. Approximately 3% of people in the UK now self-identify as either vegan or plant-based, while 10% are either eliminating or reducing their consumption of animal products. That's interesting. I wonder what this is citing. It's from January last year. From the Vegan Society. Interesting. You know what we do need to keep an eye on is Finder. This is one of the regular surveys that has percentage of vegetarians and vegans in the UK, and it drops around the start of the year. Last dropped January 7th, 2025. And I think they've done every year since 2019. So that's pretty cool. They'll be coming out within the next few days. Currently, what's the percentage of vegans? Currently, I remember it not being that clear about this. Okay, 2.1% it had for Jan 2025. We're going to see plus or minus on 2.1%. What do you think? True vegan STEM. Are you in this Veggie Lotto? I don't know. I'm not sure if there's going to be retirement money, to be fair. Approximately 3%. Oh yeah, we read this. In September, a report by the Food Foundation found that UK-wide shift to plant-based diets help reduce projected species extinction over the next 100 years by nearly 60%. Hey, that's cool. I don't think I've seen that. Protecting the environment and food system alongside biodiversity. Well, good for the Vegetarian Society. They've launched their plant-based label, and it's now making up about half of all their certifications. I think that's probably a good thing for the sale for plant-based products, because there are several studies showing that non-vegans are more likely to choose products called plant-based than products called vegan. So I think this sort of thing is useful. And clearly there's a demand for it from the producers as well, so that's cool. Well, you know, this is what I was going to read next. This is good news from Canada. A&W rolls out plant-based burger across Canada following Environmental Stewardship Award. Any Canadians? A&W Canada has introduced a new house-made plant-based burger at over 1,070 locations across the country. The launch adds to the chain's expanding plant-based menu, which already includes options like the spicy piri-piri potato buddy burger, which is vegan, and the crispy veggie burger and masala veggie burger, which are vegetarian. While A&W previously served the Beyond Meat burger, it's now replaced it with its own in-house patty. Oh, interesting. Okay. So they already had a Beyond Burger, and they've just moved to their own thing. It sounds like the current vegan burger they have, that sounds like it probably kind of sucks. Its main thing is potato, and it's a burger. I feel like that's a bit carbs on carbs now. But they're rolling out a good one now, so this is good. You know, I see a lot of brands taking this kind of stuff away and going back to mushroom burgers and stuff like that. I think it's because they're scared, and to an extent some consumers are scared, about all this ultra-processed nonsense. which has been very much specifically aimed at plant-based meat, even though, as I frequently say, plant-based meat is healthier than meat. So this is good to see a brand, a fast food brand in this case in Canada, rolling out plant-based burgers rather than rolling them back. Yes, pea protein, soy protein isolate. Good. All right, good. Yes, it's like it's plant-based meat, right? We like plant-based meat. I wish brands would get over this ultra-processed thing, and consumers would as well. It's going to be, and for a lot of vegans as well, like you don't just want to replace that with a potato burger, which is just going to be pure carbs. You're not going to get any protein from that meal. Plant-based meat is a good source of protein. The new burger features a plant-based patty made from pea protein, soy protein isolate, coconut oil, and beet juice concentrate, served in a toasted sesame seed bun with red onion, lettuce, tomato, pickles, ketchup, mustard, and mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is the only component that's not vegan, so customers should request the burger without it. Okay, that's good to know. Hey, Soy Daddy, thanks for joining. Oh, nice. You're doing some Discord outreach right now? That's awesome. I might include that as one of my Veganuary 2.0 shorts. I've started this. I'm on day 4 now, but I feel like if I'm going to come up with something new every day, another 27 days is a lot. But yeah, I did that Discord outreach on... I'm not sure which, one of the vegan servers one time, where they have a bot that connects you to Omegle or whatever. And that was quite good. I enjoyed doing that. You're just speaking to strangers, and then you've got a kind of switchboard of activism videos that you can turn on, like slaughterhouse footage and stuff like this. So if they start trolling, you can immediately play slaughterhouse footage, and they stop pretty quickly. Well, that was my experience anyway. I spoke to a couple of people on there. But good for you doing the Discord outreach, doing the work. Karen Suri, Senior Director of Innovation at A&W Canada, explained the company's approach to menu development. All guests deserve a fantastic variety of delicious, innovative menu items. By taking the lead on our own plant-based recipe, we can ensure that we're always delivering delicious, crave-worthy burgers that our guests expect from A&W. We're excited for Canadians to enjoy the new A&W plant-based burger alongside all their other favourites. Okay, interesting. I mean, this is a pretty bland corporate statement, really, doesn't it? It's they've come up with their own thing rather than using the Beyond Burger, which they were doing before. Probably not good news for Beyond, but there you go. But maybe good news for A&W, right? They probably can. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I was about to say they can probably offer it to consumers cheaper, but we'll see. Hey. The launch follows A&W's recent recognition with the 2025 Environmental Stewardship Award of Recognition at the Restaurants Canada Awards of Excellence. That was a mouthful. We got through it. In a statement, the company emphasized its dedication to sustainability. The prestigious award is a testament to our deep commitment to sustainability and our continuous efforts to reduce our environmental footprint. We're honoured to be acknowledged for a range of initiatives, including our National Food Rescue Partnership with Second Harvest, our innovative A&W One Cup reusable cup program, and most importantly, our sustainable ingredients messaging that you know and love. I mean, we really needn't read like the company statements on it. They're silly. They're pretty AI generated these days, hey. But the interesting part of this is, well, there's a couple of interesting things. One is that they're rolling back. They were using Beyond Meat, and now they're going to develop their own in-house thing. Now, that should mean, I would think, that they can offer it cheaper than if they are buying it in from Beyond, which does tend to be more expensive than others. It's cool that they invested in doing this and have their own recipe now, right? This is not... this is going to be, A&W's unique plant-based burger. Maybe they'll further develop it and so on. Maybe they'll kind of license it out. But I think, it's good for there to be more options to compete. We'll see how it's received. And then the other interesting part is that this is a cut against a trend which I've been detecting where a lot of outlets are going back to mushroom burgers and falafel sausages. I saw earlier a vegan breakfast with a falafel sausage, and I thought, no, like, who wants that? Right, give us the Beyond Sausage back. Give us the Linda McCartney's, the Quorn. Weatherspoons does a good vegan breakfast. We love a Weatherspoons vegan breakfast. But good for A&W. They've made their own vegan burger and they're rolling it out rather than rolling it back. We love to see it. Long live plant-based meat. Okay, I was going to read this one next from Veg News. The secret to the most affordable high-protein diet isn't meat, research says. Think meat is the best way to get protein? Data reveals a plant-based diet is cheaper, healthier, and just as protein-packed. No sacrifice required. This is out yesterday. So this is the newest news. This is the newest news we're reading. Oh, amigo. Most Americans are getting it wrong. According to a survey by the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine and Morning Consult, more than 60% of US adults mistakenly believe eating plant-based is more expensive than a diet that includes meat and dairy. Interesting. Mistakenly believe. Okay, 60% believe that, and it is not the case. This conception is especially strong among baby boomers, with 67% saying a plant-based diet costs more than the standard American diet. Interesting. But while grocery prices continue to climb, what people are actually spending the most on is meat. The same survey, which polled 2,206 adults in June 2025, found that 77% of respondents believe food costs are too high. When asked what items consumed most of their grocery budget, 70% pointed to meat. It's not just perception. Data from the Pew Research Center confirms it. Meat, poultry, fish, and eggs have seen the sharpest inflation of any food category since January 2020, with prices up more than 36%. Damn, let's have a look at that. Okay, this is the inflation for different foods. Meat, poultry, fish, and eggs up 36%. Dairy and related products up 22%. Fruits and vegetables up only 16%. Cereals and bakery 29%. Not seeing plant-based meat on here. From what I have seen, though, this is certainly the case in Europe. Some people seem to suggest this wasn't... Oh, yeah, sure thing, Soy Daddy. Are you talking about the Veg News one? Hey, Shiv Gupta, nice to see you. Yeah, from what I've seen in Europe, plant-based meat has stayed the same price or gotten slightly cheaper in some cases. But meat has gotten much more expensive. I did a good post about this on LinkedIn, actually. Which one is it? It's all been kicking off on LinkedIn. The farm kind thing's interesting discourse. I'm going to have a debate on that Tuesday evening with somebody who is a vegan and he's fellow small vegan YouTuber. He goes by Foolproof Mastery on YouTube and on other platforms. He's around in Discord. We're going to have a debate Tuesday evening about the FarmKind campaign, and we're going to do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Hey, Indef, nice to see you. I've been appreciating your commentary on my my recent edgy posting. I think, I was just saying we're going to have a debate about the FarmKind thing. Goodness me, why can I not find this post that I'm looking for? Yeah, I'm going to debate Foolproof Mastery. He seems like a smart guy. He's a vegan. But it's going to be, you know, a friendly disagreement. Yeah, this was my post the other day about plant-based meat getting cheaper. Linda McCartney's plant-based mince is less than half price of beef mince in my local Sainsbury's, which was not the case a few short years ago. Will 2026 be the year that we see price become a reason for customers to choose plant-based meat rather than a barrier? This is both for the same weight. This is beef mince. This is vegetarian mince. It's pretty banging, eh? Yeah, I kind of agree with that, Vegan STEM. I think I have a bit of a job to put together the empirical case just in a way that I can kind of debate and have all the right numbers to hand. I can also see why... Hey, this was good as well. I reposted this from Reddit. Look at this, empty shelves at Waitrose for Veganuary. Waitrose shoppers going mad for the Veganuary. I saw a few posts like this. Pretty based. Yeah, I can see why some people don't see it that way. I think that this guy, his name's Patrick, I know him mainly through LinkedIn, as I normally do. One second, I think that's my wife trying to call me for dinner. Oh, maybe she's just walking past. I think we're good. Yeah, his name's Patrick. I know him mainly from LinkedIn. And yeah, he seems like a smart guy. He is very much in the Ask Yourself community. I was watching some of his videos earlier. He has stuff about prop logic and, you know, formal logic and debate structure and everything. And he's being very precise as we're setting up the debate, which, you know, is a good green flag. I'm open to having my mind changed on this issue, honestly. But I think it's going to be an empirical thing for me. Yeah, that is very true, Indef. And yes, Indef's in the chat saying, I'm generally bothered what we call fictive trade-offs, which is his very core of being better consequentialist. Yeah, I can see how this is a super frustrating thing because the donating ostensibly has nothing at all to do with the being vegan. Like, you can do both, right? With situations like this, I always think of a funny story that my friend told me back in the day when he was on the dating apps. He's married now. But he said he was speaking to a South American girl and he had oversold how good his Spanish was. And he asked her, would you like to go for dinner or drinks? And she says, ¿Por qué no los dos? And he sort of half understood that message and went and booked a restaurant called Los Dos Hermanos or something like this, thinking that's what she was suggesting. But of course, what that means is, why not the two? Why not both? So I always think of ¿Por qué no los dos when I encounter situations like this. Of course, yes, you can both be vegan and donate. I said to my missus, I can see, you know, it's like saying, should I wear jeans or should I dye my hair red? There's different parts of you. You could do both of those things. There are real trade-offs to be defended against the angry deontologists, such as beyond doing taste tests with a small number of animal products. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I think it's like letting the perfect be the enemy of good, isn't it? It's a all or nothing sort of purist approach. I mean, I think a lot of the thing with the farm kind thing. I knew I was going to end up talking about this. I've been making a second video about this. I posted about this on LinkedIn, and a bunch of people commented disagreeing with me. It's actually amazing, by the way, when I'm having disagreements with other vegans, the difference in the quality of the arguments and, frankly, the person is, compared to arguing with meat eaters, is palpable. It's unbelievable. Like there was seriously detailed and really thoughtful, you know, and really passionate arguments coming through, and I was reading them, and they've really, honestly, a lot of them give me food for thought. I'm like, yeah, I've thought through parts of my position on this, refined it. I think that, well, all sorts. Anyway, these are really high quality comments and really high quality commentary. And then I thought about the other post where the meat industry people were literally just copy pasting AI output in the comments, and it's honestly amazing how the world's not vegan already, given how much smarter and more engaged vegans are than the meatheads. Yeah, the quality of conversation there is really, really fantastic. And lots of people disagreeing with me, which I think is absolutely fine, by the way. I was going to say, I think one of the strategic pieces about this was the claim we're going to be debating. I think it is, so it's like the Farm Kinds Forget Veganuary campaign is defensible, basically, which is a little bit broad, kind of deliberately so, because we want to leave room to discuss lots of different parts of it. I think there's a few different components of it that we can get into. And like I say, Patrick seems like a smart guy, so I'm sure there's going to be an interesting discussion. It's going to be a double long stream on Tuesday because I'll also be speaking to Ask Yourself at 9. So I think I'll probably do what I did last time and just read some articles that might trigger him and enjoy that. But then I'll have just had this debate, so maybe I'll want to talk about that. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, when I keep going towards saying, I think one of the strategic components of this is Farm Kind being, I can only think of the term wasp cake. Does anyone remember? This was on, David Mitchell said it on Have I Got News For You about 20 years ago, about John Prescott. Can I see if I can find the original? Here it is, yeah. 16 years ago.
Either that, or it's like, you know, when you get a lot of wasps at a picnic, you kind of go, okay, that cake or whatever, we'll leave that for the wasps. John Prescott is the wasp's cake. He attracts all the flack so that the rest of the cabinet can be as idiotic as they like, and nobody notices. Except they've just been a bit too idiotic.
But he must. I think they've got too many wasp cakes at the moment. There was a poll in the Daily Telegraph this week, apparently, which included a question about John Prescott. Some people are saying that one danger for the government is that Mr. Prescott has become a figure of ridicule. Do you personally think he's become a figure of ridicule or not? And the responses were 13% no, he hasn't, 36% yes, he has, and 44% he was always.
Plays into my wasp cake theory, which is that, you know, obviously the rest of the cabinet were falling apart and doing disastrously, so someone said to him, John, you've got to up your game. You've got to become even dafter than you were before.
The thing that worries me is no one ever shuts up. You'd think he might go away for a bit and be very quiet. But no, he's there giving a huge interview. And I saw the headlines walking past and it said, I was stupid, says Prescott. It's an interesting use of the past tense.
Slogan, I was stupid, then I started taking these brain pills. Unfortunately, they also make you very horny.
Anyone remember the wasp cake? Is that yes, vegan stem? Yeah, farm kind of being the wasp cake, right? They're kind of willing to soak up a lot of hate, really, from the vegan community. There's been, you know, a lot of pushback on the Farm Kind campaign, and in many ways, I think they're quite brave to be the ones who are kind of willing to take that and bring more attention to Veganuary. First of all, I think that's part of it. You know, even though you know they've been accused of overly negative framing in their materials, but I think part of the strategy also is that it's sort of any news is good news, right? The only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about. I wonder if, in fact, it will hurt Veganuary participation. It could be one of these things where it kind of develops, it gives an angle to Veganuary that then develops into something that more people are seeing and interacting with. You know, there's news coverage about it. The really frustrating thing about the news coverage, David Ram's interview with FarmCoin founder about this just dropped. Oh, no way. That's awesome, Oppenheimer. I have to watch that. What does Rams have to say about it? Is he quite sympathetic, pragmatic, or... I don't think there's much to be gained in many ways from defending the wasp cake. You know, if you are a vegan and there's, you know, you're in vegan communities and you care about what the vegans think about you and so on, then I think you've kind of got something to lose if you defend this campaign. It's not aimed at vegans, right? So it's not for us. It's not for us. Well, it's for us because we're vegan 2.0, but there we go. Oppenheimer, you saw David Ram's interview just drop and you still came in here instead. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's nice to see you, dude. Yeah, fair vegan stem. Many people are saying this. It's going to be, yeah, I have a debate about this Tuesday night for those of you who just got here, against Foolproof Mastery, Patrick Rezierov. It's going to be a pretty friendly debate. You know, it's a good faith disagreement about strategy. It's not going to be like Paul Wood trying to hide the ball kind of situation, right? This guy's a vegan. He's also in, you know, the vegan Discord servers and all this kind of stuff. So it's going to be a friendly debate. Yeah, I had a lot of disagreement there, and I think if the empirics are right, such that this is just expected to help a much higher number of animals. I think that utilitarian-brained people will tend to go along with it. I mean, the tough part is the instead of framing. And they're kind of, in my view, they're kind of placing a bet that they're almost certainly going to do some amount of putting people off going vegan in the short term. And if enough of those people actually engage with the message a lot, to the extent that they then go on to become donors to effective animal charities, then their bet will come off, right? And there will be a net positive for animals. A lot is going to come down to the execution. I think a lot will be, for me, it's going to kind of be an empirical case. Like I say, if it is the case that they generate enough additional resources for the movement to offset the, at the end of the day, temporary news cycle about, anti-vegan framing, then I think it will have been worth it. But if they don't, then, clearly it won't be. So, and, thinking about it, I feel like most people would agree to that at some point on the spectrum. There's kind of two factors. One is how much the donations they'll generate, and one is how much they will sort of harm this year's Veganuary or reduce the chances of people going vegan, let's say. And I think that all of us really, when we think about it, would kind of have some sort of curve as to where we'd be willing to trade off, right? If it was the case that it actually didn't have any negative impact on Veganuary participation, and it generated, billions of dollars for the movement, then I think most vegans are going to say, okay, well, fair play. But if it's the case that it has a significant negative impact on Veganuary and it doesn't really generate much money, then I think most of us are going to say, well, that was, the bet didn't come off in that case, right? So it's that's why it's interesting to be talking about it now, because we genuinely don't yet know. Right, the bet is still in. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Rams was gentle and the guys seemed just stunningly naive about the reaction, like he stumbled onto the edgelord thing here. Oh, really? Interesting. Was it Tom Norman? I've spoken to him on the channel. There's a guy called Tom Norman. There's another guy called Aidan Alexander. Rams also showed the Against Veganuary website, which is total cringe. Yeah, the website is a lot. I do think they could have gone less hard against veganism. From their perspective, of course, they're trying to make it very clear that they're not asking people to go vegan. But I think there was stuff on there that was, not that helpful messages to be putting out there. There's the thing about the plant protein bloat or whatever it was. I thought that was a little too much for my taste. I'll definitely have to have a look at that. I won't watch it on stream, but or maybe I will watch it on stream. Not today though. There's a nice little remix of the hierarchy of evidence that I posted the other day. Or it's just made specific to the evidence about plant-based meat versus meat. I really gleaned this from my conversation with Matthew Nagra. All of the current meat, like pro-meat health buzzwords. Yeah, maybe in deaf. They hopefully appeal to many demographics, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, all of the current pro-meat health buzzwords, the talking points generated by these pro-meat AI fucking bots that generate their comments for them, have been fed the concepts of ultra-processed food, bioavailability, and nutrient density. These are like the big three that I am consistently seeing. Had someone stop posting again about nutrient density on one of these the other day, and I posted this graphic at him. I'll link to this, and I think this is worth having to share personally. I mean, I made this, but not to toot my own horn. Really, that link's going to be too long. Oh, I can get rid of this. We can get rid of this. We can get rid of this. Good. Okay. So yes, all of their talking was about ultra-processed food, bioavailability, nutrient density. These are just proposed mechanisms by which a food could be healthier. And they are weaker evidence than epidemiological evidence, right? Actual outcomes observed over time, where vegans have better health outcomes. Literally, this is all you need to say. If people are talking about ultra-processed food, bioavailability, nutrient density, any of this kind of mechanistic, like, theories why meats might be healthy, actually, we can just say, well, how come vegans are always healthier? Or healthier on out, not always, but health. Or how come vegans are consistently healthier? It must be that these things that you're talking about are not that important, actually. Right? So there's epidemiological evidence above that, and then above that, right, because a lot of meatheads these days have anti-epidemiology programming, as we saw from the Paul Wood debate, where this is only weak evidence, right? You can't make any strong health claims about veganism because it's all epidemiology, and epidemiology is really weak, even though it converges, by the way, over 80% with experimental evidence. So a lot of them have the anti-epidemiology programming, even though, by the way, they're talking about weaker evidence in terms of bioavailability, nutrient density, and so on. They'll still criticize if you cite epidemiology. So if you want to go one up from that, we do have experimental evidence. People randomly assigned to eat plant-based meat instead of meat have lower cholesterol, lower body weight, and no significant difference in muscle growth. Muscle growth. There's reviews of experiments. There's a review of experiments showing this, actually. So I could have done a fourth level of systematic review and meta-analysis. But here's your graphical guide to meatheads talking about ultra-processed food, bioavailability, nutrient density. You can post that at people. Me and the homies waiting for the new Finder 2026 UK diets data to drop. Come my fair share of anti-epidemiology meatheads online. I'm so sick of them. Yeah, they all got the programming. Honestly, they all get the same fucking AI bot talking points. But fortunately, we do now have experiments that we can post to these people as well, with the plant-based meat and the plant-based meat versus meat. And then, of course, they still have criticism of that, right? Oh, this experiment's too short-term. They're talking about mechanism, and then they want to criticize epidemiology, and they go, okay, well, here's experimental evidence, and they want to go, well, this experiment's too short-term. Can you see how the goalposts keep moving? Then they go right back to their mechanistic stuff. It's like... It's wild. This is a good graphic to have and post at people. As if I just refreshed Finder to see if the data's still as tragic. All right. All right. Are we gonna read this fake news thing, or are we gonna read? We've got the Lewis Bollard end of year post, which I'm looking forward to reading. But let's read this. Come on. So, still messing about. Observational data. Yeah, that's it, Oppenheimer. Which again, they don't seem to. I can't remember what the Paul Wood thing was, where he was criticising observational data in there. Oh, it was the parachute posting, when we did the parachute posts, and Paul Wood said, "You can just ask people if they'd rather have a parachute or not." What? You can ask people if they'd rather eat meat or not. There's not any evidence of its efficacy, right? Oh, that was some good memes. When asked what item consumes most of the grocery budget, we read this already. And yet, the foods that offer the best value, highest nutrition return, and even long-term health savings are sitting quietly in the pantry section: beans, lentils, tofu, grains, and vegetables. Meals built around whole or minimally processed plant foods like beans, grains, tofu, and vegetables are often far more affordable than meals centered on animal products like meat and dairy, Xavier Toledo, a registered dietitian with PCRM, said in a statement. Left out plant-based meat there because it's sometimes more expensive, but that's decreasingly the case. There's a cool way of looking at this, actually. I got some data together the other day. Let me see if I can show this. I don't see why not. I got some data together the other day from using the Wayback Machine, the Internet Archive, and just going to the pages on the Tesco website for certain meat and plant-based meat products, and you can go back and see at what times they were different prices. This is the big one. This is the mince. Look at that. That's beef. That's the price of beef mince. It's doubled since 2021. And meanwhile, the price of plant-based mince has gone very slightly down. So to chicken breast, that's up. Can't see the values on this, which is a bit annoying. But it's up some amount. And plant-based chicken breasts, down. I do have the data for these, so I could look, but I'm just being a bit lazy. So, okay, here we got plant-based product getting a little bit more expensive, but the beef burgers product getting way more expensive. Oh, so the burgers here have actually been cheaper. Can I see the values? Okay, that's shaky. The burgers here have actually been cheaper since 2021. That's interesting. Not looking that good for the milk, though. This was the only one, I think, where the plant-based one had gone up more so than the dairy one. Someone said soy milk was down a lot, though. I haven't really posted this anyway because this is a little bit ad hoc. You'd want to do like a bigger sample of products. I know, right, Oppenheimer? I thought that was a pretty cool idea. Yeah, just Wayback Machined it. And then what's this? Not much change in pork sausages or plant-based sausages, but that doesn't go back very far. Soy milk's usually cheap. Yeah, I might have to do it with soy milk as well. The mince was the winner by far. But this chicken, you know, this is looking like it could tip. This is not that long a timescale. This is since 2019. And the plant-based one's only since 2023. It's gone down in price in that time. The chicken's gone up. So this is going to cross over at some point like the mince has. And I really think this is, you know, this isn't going back. 2022 was the year that it crossed over here, and this isn't going back. So plant-based products going to be mogging, basically. Anyway, that was a little diversion. At least on par with cow milk. I remember looking at that recently. Oh, really? Okay, that's interesting. I'll have to have a look at that. And do you feel like it's gone cheaper, or at least not gotten more expensive? Because if so, probably dairy milk has got quite a lot more expensive in the last 5 years or whatever. Wait, well, we were just looking at the graph, weren't we? Censoring a plant-based diet on whole, minimally processed foods is one of the most effective ways to not only nourish your body, but also cut grocery costs. Yeah, true. Plant-based food is cheaper and it's backed by data. PCRM research published in German network Open in 2024 put this into hard numbers. When compared to a standard American diet that includes meat and dairy, a low-fat vegan diet cut costs by 19%, about $1.80 per day. Wow, 19%. That is not nothing. Getting 20% off your food bill. That's... a lot of people would be gagging for that these days, surely. Cost of living and everything. Soy milk's gone up in Tesco from 54p to 59 or 62p. There's somebody who buys a lot of soy milk. It's the soy daddy, of course. Of course the soy daddy knows. Still cheaper than dairy, that's cool. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about going from oat milk to soy milk. Username checks out, true. 69p, soy daddy. D less down, what? I'm just kidding. You're still the soy daddy. Yeah, I'm actually going to go from oat milk to soy milk, I think. My missus bought soy milk the other week, and I just really had a taste for it after that. I didn't even really used to like the taste of soy milk, but yeah, I think it's growing on me. Good if it's cheaper than oat milk as well. Kind of feels like it shouldn't be. Feels like oat milk should be cheaper. I don't know why I say that. Oats just seem closer. We do grow some soy in the UK, but not very much. Gotta try chocolate soy milk. Yeah, true. Yes, the chocolate Alpro is banging. Has more protein. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, oat milk has very little protein, I guess. You know, I was looking at Alpro does a soy milk that says it's like protein milk, I guess. Or it says high in protein or something. But I couldn't work out if it's actually any different from regular soy milk, because regular soy milk is already like 5 grams per 100 grams, I guess it is. So that already seems like quite a lot. This guy, there's again something that Matthew Nagler got me thinking about, because that was one of the things that he mentioned you'll do better for protein to calories ratio if you switch from animal products to, in this case, soy milk. There's a lot of these posts now about how you have to have more calories to get the same amount of protein. They're all like the tentacles of the meat industry propaganda machine on TikTok and everything. But yeah, it's not the case. There's a ton of he mentioned switching eggs for tofu, you get more protein per gram. Switching dairy to soy milk, you get more protein per calorie, sorry. Right, and there's some other ones as well. Okay, regular one's 3 grams per 100 grams, and the high protein one's 5 grams per 100 grams. That's good to know. True, soy daddy. Might have to hit that up. I go Sainsbury's usually. I think they do that with animal products, eh? A lot of times they'll compete on like a pack of sausages, for example, and price match on that, and they can end up being a loss leader for the supermarket, which sucks from our perspective. Correct. 50-gram one is 2 grams per serving higher, 5 grams instead of 3. Okay, fair play. Maybe I'll cop for the high protein one. Then we'll see. I get that. I currently get oat milk, right? But I get it. I get it in boxes of 8 from Amazon, and then I get it for the month. So each month we have 5 boxes of 8 litres of oat milk turn up. And the poor Amazon bloke's lugging them back and forth through the lorry. He does 2 trips normally at least. And my missus lugs them all inside. And I come downstairs, she's pissed off. She's pissed off. Why do I buy so much oat milk again? We get through it. We got a lot of it in the garage, but you know. I put it on pause now. She said I have to put it on pause. She said, don't order any more oat milk. Don't order any more cashews. You got about 3 bags of vegan protein powder down there as well. It's classic, like, optimistic purchasing of all the things that you think you'll consume when you're in a healthy mindset. You go smash Amazon, go buy a fucking... I've literally got fucking bags and bags of cashew nuts down here. So there you go. That's a little insight into my life, into my eating. I do that with Huel. Yeah, nice. Isn't that expensive though? Oh, RTD. What is that? Ready to drink. Yeah. I thought about doing that. They're hella expensive though. Or I guess if that was all you're going to consume, but presumably that's not. 11 boxes of 12 because of a subscription. All right, you win with that. You win with that one, Vegan Seb. Oh, that's so funny. And presumably that's quite an easy thing to... they're RTD, right? They're ready to drink. How are you not getting through them? I don't know. I've got so much cashews, protein powder, and oat. I've got oat milk coming out of my absolute eyeballs, honestly. 11 boxes of 12 is mental, though. That's the plan. I end up getting bored and getting takeaway. Oh my goodness. Fair play, fair play. Yeah, it must be kind of boring only having Huel, but you can only have Huel, right? That's kind of the thing of it. They've done there's a study, albeit done by Huel on the Huel website, but it's I want to say it's an RCT, where they have people having only Huel compared to, I guess, their regular diet, and people lose weight and have all sorts of better health markers, which kind of makes sense because it's not protein but calorie dosed, isn't it? So it's 400 calories per bottle, in which case it's very easy to have the correct amount if that's all you're eating. You're just kind of doing like multiples of 400, right? It's easy to hit your 2,000 calories, whatever you're aiming for. Prepare a protein shake over Huel. Yeah, I've got pretty banging protein shakes, actually, I have to say. I do like the protein shakes I have. Let me show you the one I have. It's on. I'm a fiend on Amazon. This is what I get. Vanilla cream flavor. Oh, it's banging. Anyone else on this? Yeah, I guess it's mainly, I think, soy protein isolate. Oh yeah, soy, pea, pumpkin, brown rice, and sunflower proteins. Interesting. Huel Light's only 190 calories. Wow, is that like the transparent one? They do like a fizzy drink almost, don't they? I swear I've seen that recently. Cheaper than your protein? Yeah, I feel like I did a bit of research and found that this was the cheapest one at the time. But things change prices so much on Amazon, I find. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like that vanilla flavor. What else we got? Vanilla Millionaire shortbread. They're also gluttonous flavors, aren't they? Chocolate Bueno. That sounds pretty banging. I think all of these are vegan. Yeah, all of these are vegan. Chocolate, strawberries and cream, unflavored. I had that unflavored one once before. I don't know what I thought I was going to do with it. I think I put it into a soup once, but it just doesn't. It just wasn't. It just wasn't very nice. Same complete meal with the same nutrition but less calories. Fair play. Fair play. Yeah, what's Huel saying these days? Let's have a. £24 for 8 of them, so it's £3 a pop. Or the protein one is 35 grams of protein. That's a little bit more. It's not too much more actually. Yeah, that's not too bad. I'd need like, I have 3,000 calories a day though, so I'd need like almost a whole pack a day. Well, basically, yeah, a pack a day. This would be my daily food cost. Yeah, it ain't cheap. They're cool. They're cool though. I do like Huel. Oh, I buy in bulk, huh? Nice. You got that Costco membership, something like that. Yeah, they do all like hot meals and everything. That. Super Greens Extreme. This is woke AG1. Anyone ever had those things? Those like green mixes? I've never had. 156 health benefits. That's such a bold claim. Kind of tempting though. Oh, you get it off the website, huh? Nice. I do like Huel that it's kind of like a stealth vegan thing, isn't it? I don't know if they are thinking of it that way or just trying to be as inclusive as possible. If it doesn't have any animal products, then vegans can have it, and it's automatically like halal and all that other stuff. Right, because those rules tend to be about animal products. But in any case, it seems to, it's very popular, Huel. In my experience, I found a lot of people who have this. Oh, bloody hell. All right, that's it. Oh, this is the one that I saw, the little cans. Oh, and there's the Huel light. Yeah, I see. This is a Huel sales stream now. No. Okay. Yeah, they're pretty banging. I do really like the taste of them as well, actually. I have to say they are very nice. For vegan stem, you should start selling them. You got a garage full of them. And me with my oat milk. It's honestly ridiculous. I set these subscriptions up thinking that's going to be good. I'll never have to go shopping again. But alas. All right, come on, let's get through this, eh? The largest savings came from reducing meat to 90 per day, dairy 50 cents, and added fats another 50 cents. Interesting. Butter, isn't it? Wild costs for vegetables up 50 cents, grains 30 cents, and meat alternatives 50 cents. Oh, they did include meat alternatives. Increased, those were offset entirely plus some. Annualized, there's more than $650 savings for someone eating a whole food plant-based diet over someone following the average American eating pattern. Compare that to someone on a Mediterranean diet and the savings jumped to $900 a year. Damn, that's not bad, hey? $650 a year. You can't say no to that. I feel hopeful as well. This is going to grow. This is going to grow as animal products continue to get more expensive and plant-based products continue to get cheaper. And at some point, this is like an economist thinking about this problem, right? At some point, it will just be that you just can't justify the additional expense of animal products. But interesting to note that most people had it wrong in their heads about this. By which I mean most people thought incorrectly that the plant-based diet was going to be more expensive. Let me pan this a little bit. I'm cutting my head off at the moment. There we go. I started out more slouched, but I've sat up. I'm like the Undertaker. A vegan diet won't just save money, it could save lives by helping to avoid or improve conditions like obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease, says Hanneke Lever, PhD, one of the study's lead authors. Oxford University came to a similar conclusion in 2021. Hey, I remember that. According to its modelling, switching to a vegan diet cut a household's food bill by up to 1/3. A separate 2022 analysis found that people eating plant-based spend less on food than any other group. Yeah, actually, we are doing a little bit of research of which this is a part at the moment. And some of my team have analysed the data on this, and they are consistently finding it is about, I think it was about between 20 and 30% cheaper in institutions, I think that is, with plant-based ingredients compared to animal products. And we've modelled this as well, actually, for plant-based universities, where we had a list of, I think, about 200 different food ingredients, their cost per kilo, the amount of them in one serving, and then we had a sample menu from a university where we sort of found, cross-referenced the price of every ingredient and every meal, and similarly found, significant savings when going to plant-based meals over meals with animal products. And I mean, it makes sense, right? Obviously, meat and dairy are some of the most expensive things that you can get, and eggs. So obviously, if you move to something that's like a bean-based meal, it should be cheaper on average. It's so interesting that 2/3 of people are getting that wrong. 2/3 of boomers. Despite persistent myths, plant-based staples pack in plenty of protein, the researchers noted. Beans, lentils, tofu, oats, whole grains, and even vegetables like broccoli and spinach all contribute to meeting daily protein needs. The lady says that for budget-conscious eaters, it's about as much about strategy as it is about ingredients. Buy produce in season, stock up on frozen or canned vegetables when they're more affordable, cook in big batches, build your meals around filling, protein-rich pantry items like potatoes, chickpeas, and brown rice. These strategies add up, helping you save money without shortchanging your health, he says. Need proof? Here's what a high-protein, plant-based day of eating looks like for less than the cost of a typical fast food combo meal. That's an interesting standard. It seems kind of debatable as to whether fast food is going to be the cheapest thing that you can compare it to, but all right. Start your morning with a hearty tofu scramble. 1 block of extra firm tofu plus garlic, onion, bell peppers, mushrooms, and a handful of spices makes 4 servings of just $1.70 each. Compared to eggs, which have been subject to price spikes and shortages in recent years, it's a high-protein, fibre-rich, and affordable option that doesn't rely on cholesterol-laden animal products. For lunch or dinner, a protein-packed 3-bean chili hits all the marks. Canned or cooked black beans, kidney beans, and chickpeas, plus celery, onions, bell peppers, diced tomatoes, tomato sauce, olive oil, and spices. Each serving comes in around $1.75, since with fibre-rich in flavour and proof that plant-based cooking doesn't mean missing out on heartiness. And for a meal prepped dinner or next day lunch, chickpea burgers are hard to beat. Chickpeas, oats, carrots, garlic, sun-dried tomatoes, tahini, and mixed blend pantry spices are pulsed into patties and served on whole wheat buns. The result 10 servings are just $1.05 per burger. It's a bold contrast to the rising cost of beef and the saturated fat that comes with it. True. These meals don't just save money at checkout, they're also linked to better health outcomes, PCRM says. Multiple studies show plant-based diets can help manage weight, reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, lower cholesterol, improve insulin sensitivity, and reduce risk for type 2 diabetes and certain cancers. In fact, a 2023 trial found that people following a low-fat vegan diet saw more improvements in body weight, body composition, and cholesterol levels than those on a Mediterranean diet. Probably bloody epidemiology there, wasn't it? No, it sounds like it wasn't actually. It sounds like it wasn't actually. All right. And while public awareness is slowly shifting, one recent PCRM survey found that half of US adults now acknowledge the health benefits of plant-based eating. Pardon me. Half of US adults now acknowledge. Okay, interesting. There's still a knowledge gap. Only 1 in 5 primary care doctors routinely discuss it with their patients. That's starting to change. More than 130 physicians recently urged the Federal Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee to prioritize legumes, including beans, peas, and lentils, as a key protein group in the upcoming dietary guidelines for Americans. Ooh, interesting. That's upcoming, is it? It's not going to be good if Trump's got anything to do with it, is it? Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is going to be good. The public might not realize it yet, but the numbers don't lie. The cheapest, most nutrient-dense, high-protein diet isn't packed with steak or protein bars. It's built on simple plant-based staples that deliver real nutrition at a fraction of the cost. And it might just be sitting in your pantry already. The benefits don't stop at saving money, says Toledo. A plant-based diet can support weight management and help prevent, and in some cases even reverse, lifestyle-related diseases like heart disease, obesity, and type 2 diabetes. The diet can also reduce risk for certain cancers, and it doesn't hurt that plant-based eating can taste amazing too. Well, there you go. More evidence, if it was needed, that plant-based eating is cheaper. They're talking a lot about whole plant foods here, but this is increasingly the case for plant-based meat as well. So that's pretty good news. And like I say, that trend is basically going to continue until most people just find animal products to be too expensive. Because what they're talking about there, about one of those studies said 1/3 cheaper. That's already quite a lot, to be fair. But the more significant that price difference gets, the harder it is to deny, right, or ignore. And the more people are just going to go towards plant-based foods as a result of the economic incentives, right? It's simply just cheaper. So that's good news. I told you, hopium only. Yeah, okay. Right, I am getting summoned for my dinner now. So I'm going to leave it there. And I'll stream on Tuesday night. We are debating Patrick Rezaroff at 7:30 on Tuesday. And then we'll also be speaking to Ask Yourself at 9. So that's going to be a good stream. That'll be a good long one. We'll have a lot of content. And maybe we'll kick that one off with Lewis Bollard's 2025 summary here, which I have not yet read, so I would like to read that on stream. But thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate you joining me this evening. I won't stream tomorrow, but I'll be here Tuesday from 7:30, or probably a little bit before that. I'll probably start streaming at about 7. And that'll be good content. So I look forward to it, guys. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.